Well, we flew into San Francisco yesterday for my speech at Berkeley tonight. We had to drive downtown from the airport to get to our hotel. The GPS, it wasn't working, but fortunately we were able to follow the stench of weed and feces, and it led us right into the city. Truly, San Francisco is a godforsaken wasteland. It is like something out of Mad Max, but way gayer. If you didn't know any better, you might think that the whole city is like some kind of penal colony. If I had to choose between going to prison or moving to San Francisco, it would be a flip of the coin at least, because there is no discernible difference between the two. This is what a leftist utopia looks like and what it smells like urine and garbage and despair. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not a big fan of this city. And so it should come as no surprise that I am canceling the city today. Though my reason for canceling has nothing to do with the trauma that I suffer every time I'm forced to come here. It's really a coincidence, perhaps providence, that I happen to be in the city on the day when its reason for cancellation has presented itself. And here's that reason. It's a report from the local ABC affiliate in San Francisco. It says San Francisco Mayor London Breed announced the launch of a new guaranteed income program for the city's transgender community on Wednesday. The Guaranteed Income for Trans People, GIFT program, will provide low-income transgender residents with $1,200 each month up to 18 months to help address financial insecurity within the community. In a statement, the city of San Francisco said GIFT is one of several programs the city is developing, implementing, and evaluating to identify how to best support San Francisco residents and promote economic stability and recovery. The city also said that the new pilot program is the first guaranteed income initiative to focus solely on trans people and will provide 55 eligible participants with temporary income. Additionally, the city said it will provide the same individuals with wraparound direct services such as gender-affirming medical and mental health care, case management, specialty care services, and financial coaching. Now, we're told the reason for this program is that trans people are disproportionately impacted by poverty. We already know that trans people are disproportionately impacted by everything, really. If there was a giant tsunami that obliterated the whole city, not to get your hopes up, and everyone was washed away in the process, we would still be told that trans people were disproportionately impacted. If a volcano erupted on an island in the Pacific and incinerated a small village of 600 people, and there were no trans people in the village at all, we would still be told that trans people were disproportionately impacted somehow. As for poverty, the article says this, quote, "We know that our trans communities experience much higher rates of poverty and discrimination, so this program will target support to lift individuals in this community up. We will keep building on programs like this to provide those in the greatest need with the financial resources and services to help them thrive," said Mayor London Breed in a statement. Transgender communities experience poverty and economic instability at disproportionately high rates, according to the city. The U.S. Transgender Survey, which is the only large-scale study of trans people in the U.S. in 2015, found that 33% of trans people in California were living in poverty. All right. So we're supposed to assume that the higher rates of poverty in the trans community are due to, discrimination, transphobia, whatever. Even in a place like San Francisco, where trans people are literally worshipped as deities, even here, it's the high rates of poverty are because of bigotry. Yet, even the left will acknowledge that trans people, they also have higher rates of mental illness and substance abuse issues. That would seem to explain why they're more likely to have trouble holding down a job. And it's hard to see how handing them a check for $1,200 will solve that. And by the way, if we're providing financial advantages to groups that are more likely to be homeless and impoverished, why not set up a program giving a monthly stipend to men? Quote, cisgender men specifically. After all, men, as compared to women, suffer much higher rates of homelessness and similar conditions. So why not give them a program? But no such program would or ever could exist because the disproportionate impact game is rigged. In any case, we still haven't gotten to the reason for this cancellation. Obviously, handing out free money to the gender confused is an insane idea that will not solve any problem and will only make the existing problems even worse. But if San Francisco wants to continue its march into insanity and oblivion, it is more than welcome to do so. I have no interest in talking sense into them, nor could I even do that anyway. That's why my focus is not on the program itself, but on the form you have to fill out in order to be eligible for it. You know, sending data over an unencrypted internet connection, it's like sending a postcard. Your message is wide open to the mailman and any other nosy individual that you see. Whether you're connected to an unencrypted internet network on your phone, computer, tablet, or TV, you're sending countless pieces of information out into the digital world that can be seen and intercepted by pretty much anyone. A VPN creates a secure tunnel between your device and the internet. It's like putting your postcard in an envelope so that nobody can read your letter before it gets to the person you're sending it to. ExpressVPN is the VPN that I trust to keep my data secure. ExpressVPN creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that hackers can't steal your personal data, your passwords, your financial details, anything else. Hackers make serious cash selling personal information on the dark web, but ExpressVPN makes it easier than ever to keep your information safe. Just fire up the app, click one button, and you're instantly protected. It's as simple and easy as that. Plus, ExpressVPN works on all of your devices so you can stay secure on the go. Secure your online data today. ExpressVPN.com/Matt Walsh Show and get 3 extra months free. That's ExpressVPN.com/Matt Walsh Show. ExpressVPN.com/Matt Walsh Show. So if you want to take advantage of Gift, you must complete a 10-page form, which is available online in PDF form, so you can go see it. And the reason why, you might think like 10 pages, that's a lot of pages. Why do you have to fill out 10 pages? Well, the reason that it's 10 pages, that becomes immediately obvious when you skim through it. For instance, you're asked to provide your pronouns, and the form gives you 15 options, including cos, ziz, pers, and viz. Now, these may sound like characters in a Dr. Seuss book, but instead they are, in fact, made-up pronouns. Now, what is a ver exactly, and how is it distinguished from a zim or a pers? Nobody knows. Nobody can say. And of course, if 15 options aren't enough, you can also check not listed as an option. Yet the list of pronouns seems downright limited compared to the section for gender identity. There are, according to Libs of TikTok, who took the time to count them all, God bless her, there are 97 provided options for gender identity. 97 genders. And now, in fairness, they've padded the stats here quite a bit. There will be, in many cases, 4 or 5 different ways to phrase the exact same thing, such as transgender woman, woman of trans experience, woman with a history of gender transition, or trans feminine. These are treated as discrete and distinct identities, yet they're all the same brand of nonsense, rephrased in various different ways. Other gender options include sister girl, feminine of center, brother boy, xenogender, gender outlaw is an option. You can be a gender outlaw, multigender, omnigender, novigender. If you really identify with if you really love the month of November, I guess, you're a novigender. And also there's a gender called aggressive. That's the gender, aggressive. Aggressiveness is its own gender now. And if somehow none of those work for you, you can always check I don't use labels or not listed. And then what about sexual orientation? Well, here there are a quaint 17 options, a number inflated by the fact that non-monogamous, pansexual, and polyamorous are all listed as separate options. Another sexual option, a sexual orientation option on the list, and I'm just telling you this, okay? This is what's on the list. This is what this government form says. This is a valid label according to the form, and the label is faggot. That is on the sexual orientation checklist. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm telling you what the form says. That is now a sexual orientation that you can claim and then get $1,200 from San Francisco if you do. Now, I've often said that many of these new gender and sexual orientation labels are not really genders or orientations, but actually personalities. And there are others who say that they're not genders, sexual orientations, or personalities, but really are mental illnesses. And I think both are the case. You don't have to choose between the two. But there's something else too. In many cases, take someone who identifies as a pansexual, multigender demi-boy with AM pronouns. I think it'd be almost making too much of it to call it a personality or a mental illness. It's almost giving it too much credit. Because this is actually just nothing at all. It doesn't mean anything. In so many cases, genders and pronouns now are like hobbies these days. It's a recreational activity. People who have nothing better to do just sit around coming up with and collecting new labels for themselves. It's like this generation's Pokemon cards, except it comes with a extra side of identity crisis. And maybe This is partly why San Francisco has so many homeless people. People who can't get jobs. Because the entire city is sitting around thinking about its pronouns and gender identities. These are the kinds of things they're thinking about. Don't have the time to think about or worry about anything else, like getting a job or, housing, for example. I think there may be more to that theory than you think, but we're not going to flesh it all out now. For now, suffice it to say that San Francisco is, for this reason and so many countless others, canceled. Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you did, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and click the notification button to get more content like this. If you want to watch or listen to the full show, head to dailywire.com and subscribe today. You can also listen to my podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.